Hi everyone, welcome to Snap 2025. This is English, the last lab. We are into grammar 3 where we are doing verbs, tenses, and conditionals. Right? If you can see me and hear me, can you give me a quick yes or no? I'm doing a check, sound, audio, and video. Right? Is the audio live? Is the video live? Can you see it? Also, if you're here, can you also hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons? Like, because of course, who doesn't like the likes? Share, because of course, you have friends who might be writing the same exam. And subscribe, because of course, without the subscription, you will not be able to participate in the chat. And of course, I want you to participate in the live chat. That's more fun, guys, right? So, therefore, hi, Vicky. All right, so do join in. We are going to be doing some verbs, some tenses, and conditionals. This is a full revision, so we'll cover everything. For inquiry, of course, you can connect on 8130038836. All right, so what's a verb? A verb is a word which expresses an action, state, or occurrence. It forms the core of a sentence because it tells you what is the time, what is the voice, what is the mood, and what is the agreement. So, all these four things are covered with the verbs. What are the different types of verbs? The verbs of action, which could be run, analyze, construct, where the subject does something. The verbs of state, stative verb, or what we call the linking verb be, seem, appear. Okay. Any form of be is, am, are, was, were, all of those. And verbs of occurrence, of course, which are happen, develop, emerge, and all of these. Now, there are three main types of verbs. So there is that main verb, which is your action verb. Okay. This carries the primary meaning. Then you have the helping verbs. There are two types of helping verbs. You have the auxiliaries and you have the modals. The auxiliary verbs give you tenses, questions, negatives. The modal verbs express possibility, ability, permission, necessity. So the auxiliary verbs again are all forms of be. So is, am, are, was, were, has, have, will, shall, do, did, done, all of those. Okay. The modal verbs are can, could, may, might, must, should, shall, will, all of these. Okay. So these, of course, are your modal verbs. Now, the transitive or intransitive verbs, every action verb can be a transitive or an intransitive verb. A transitive one will require an object, and an intransitive one will not. So, for example, she wrote a letter. Wrote what? A letter. So, this is an object. So, therefore, wrote is a transitive verb. He slept. Slept what? Nothing. So, therefore, this is an intransitive verb. A linking verb just connects a subject to its complement or some information. It does not show action. So, for example, he is happy, is connects he with happy. So, therefore, it is a linking verb. Some things that you must remember: a verb must change with the subject. If the subject is singular, the verb is singular. The subject is plural, the verb is plural. Some verbs change form in different tenses irregularly. So, you need to know. For example, go, went, and gone. Right? Verbs determine the tense and the aspect of a sentence. Tense means what time is it in, and aspect within that time, when is it. Now, linking verbs do not have objects, they take predicates, that is, they take some information, right? Okay, tenses indicate the time of the action. So, there are three major tenses: the past, present, and future. With the four aspects: the simple, which describes a fact or habits, repetitive actions; the continuous shows the ongoing action; the perfect shows anything that is completed before another point; and the perfect continuous shows the ongoing plus the duration of the ongoing action, right? So here are your simple tenses. So present simple, of course, you will write he writes, which is a habit. Past simple is the past habit, and therefore he wrote. And the future simple is he will write, which will be the future event. So this is how you use the simple tenses. For the continuous tenses, the present continuous shows something that is currently happening. The past continuous shows an ongoing past action, and a future continuous shows continuous future activity. The perfect tenses show he has written, for example, the impact on the present, had risen, Written is the any event that was completed before this past event, and a future perfect will be when there will be a future moment, and prior to that this will be completed. So this is how the perfect tenses happen. So if this is the moment of time we're talking about, it's already ended. The continuous tense is ongoing. The perfect continuous, some portion has happened and some portion is still ongoing. So the present perfect has been writing, so has been going on, had been writing in the past, and he will have been writing in the future. So those are your four aspects. Now, some things that you need to remember: don't mix your time signals and tenses. So I am working here since 2010. No, I have been working here, correct? I don't want to use the continuous tense. I'd rather use the perfect continuous. Use the simple present instead of the present continuous for ongoing action. I write now is incorrect. I am writing now. Using will in subordinate clauses. When he will arrive, call me. No, when he arrives, call me. Okay, conditionals also. The conditionals express cause, effect, hypothetical situations, or possible outcomes. So there are two parts to the conditional. There is an if clause and then there is the main clause. The if clause shows the condition and the main clause shows the result. So if something happens, then something. So the first type of conditional is the zero conditional, which speaks about facts or universal truths. You will write it like this: if plus simple present and then plus simple present. The meaning, it's always true. So for example, if you heat water, it will boil, right? So you heat water, it boils. Okay. So that's how the zero conditional is written. The first conditional talks about real conditions which are highly likely in the future. The condition structure is if plus simple present, then will plus verb. This is something that is highly likely in the future. If it rains, we will cancel the trip. The second conditional is about unreal or hypothetical present. Okay. So the structure is if plus past simple and then would plus the verb form. So if I had wings, I would fly. All of this is imaginary, right? The fourth one is the third conditional, where the past is already unreal, it is completed, and therefore you are regretting it. So, if in the past perfect, and then would have with the third form of the verb. So, this is a past situation that you wish had happened but didn't happen. If he had studied, he would have passed, but he has not studied, and therefore he has not passed. Okay. The mixed conditionals combine mismatched time frames. So the present result of the past cause, if she had slept earlier, she would feel better now. But she hadn't slept earlier and therefore she's not feeling better now. So this is the mixed conditional. Okay. Now remember, would will never appear in the if clause. If you would come early, we would leave. No, if you come early, we would leave on time. Time references must match the type of the condition. So depending on what type of conditional, use it accordingly. Third conditional always expresses impossible or regret. Modal verbs may appear in appropriate places. If you finish early, you can join us. Hypothetical conditionals use the past form, but the meaning is in the present. So if I were rich, I would do this now in the present. Generally, remember to identify the time reference, whether it is past, present, or future. Check for continuity or completion. So, is it continuous or is it perfect? Ensure that the subject verb agreement is correct. Find the if clause and see which conditional. Check for context markers such since, for, already, yet, just, when, while, before, after, until. Avoid mixing incompatible tenses. And remember idiomatic pairings such as had and would have. Okay, these will be compulsory. All right, let's take a look. Here are a few questions for the verbs. Yes, Vicky, of course, all types of parts of speech are important except for the interjections, which you don't get as many. SIBM Bangalore is an okay college. I won't say it's the best college. SIBM Pune, of course, is an excellent college to go to. All right, let's try answering this question, everyone. So the committee plans is planning. Now remember, because it's a fact, so therefore, why would we use the continuous tenses? So eliminate. And because it is the committee working as one, so plans to finalize the report next week. Okay, look at this one. Choose the grammatically correct sentence. Which of these is grammatically correct? You take a minute and tell me which of these will be grammatically correct. Yeah, he insisted that she goes immediately. He insisted that she go immediately. He insisted that she must goes immediately. He insisted that she should going immediately. Of course, I know, because the word insisted tells me that we are in the subjunctive mood, and therefore this verb has to be a plural verb. So therefore he insisted that she go immediately, and that's going to be the correct answer. All right. Neither the CEO nor the managers dash willing to compromise. Remember, the verb will always take its number from the nearest subject. So because this is plural, so managers therefore were willing to compromise. Okay. Again, subject verb agreement. Every one of the documents are verified. Every one of the documents is verified. Every document are verified. Each document is verified. So again, take a moment. Guys, you can give me this answer. Now remember, each, either, neither, each and every. These are all always no, any, some, and every combined with one, body, and thing. These are all always singular. Right? Therefore, everyone is going to be singular. And if everyone is singular, therefore the answer has to be is verified. Okay? Yes, very good, Abhigyan. Excellent. A pair of shoes were, are, is, or have placed. Because we are talking of what is the subject? A pair. So therefore, a pair will always be singular, and therefore the correct answer should be is placed on the table. The jury divided in the, remember, collective nouns when divided, it's always plural, right? So therefore the jury are divided in their opinions. That's a very simple but easy rule, but you should remember that. Much of the information, because information is an uncountable noun and therefore singular. So therefore is inaccurate. Remember, uncountable nouns will be singular. All right, he tried to pacify her, but it was of no use. Yes, with it you will always use a singular verb, na? The quality of the mangoes. Again, I'm not talking of the mangoes, I'm talking of the quality. That's the subject. Therefore, has deteriorated over the years. The quality has deteriorated over the years. The flock of sheep are grazing. The flock of sheep were grazing loudly. The flock of sheep is grazing. The sheep's flock is grazing. What is the subject? It is the flock. The sheep's flock is a very bad construction, so we'll not use that. So we're looking at the flock of sheep, flock of sheep. So I've eliminated 4, but because the subject is only flock, so therefore it cannot be are, not were. So therefore is grazing. So your answer has to be 3. All right, let's go to the next set where we're talking of the tenses. She reads a book when the phone rang, was reading a book, had read, is reading. The phone is rang, that means this is in the past. So remember, when one event is ongoing and the other interrupts, the interruptive action is in the simple past. and the ongoing event is in the continuous past, and therefore she was reading when the phone rang. Okay. All right. Take a look at this one. Come on, guys. I'm working here since 2018. I work here since 2018. I have been working here since 2018. I had been working here. Now, the thing is that this is, so he's telling you that from 2018, this action has been going on and will probably continue into the future also. Right? So, therefore, we must use the present perfect continuous tense. So therefore, I have been working here since 2018. Okay. All right. By the time he arrived, the train left. By the time he arrives, the train left. Now here, please understand when there are two actions and one finishes and the other starts. So the train leaving has already happened and he arrives later. So the first action has to be in the past perfect. So therefore, train leaving has to be in the past perfect and the second action in the simple past. And therefore, by the time he arrived, the train had left, and that's your correct answer. All right, they will have completed the project by next month. Again, at a particular point of time, the action will be completed. So we are using the future perfect tense. Okay. All right, the next one. When she reached the station, the bus had already left. Remember, again, this one is already over when this happens. So, had already left. The first action is in the past perfect, and then the next action is in the simple past. This is a very important rule for us. All right. The meeting is starting, starts, has started. Okay, I'm waiting for your answer. So, okay, so the meeting is starting at 5 p.m. tomorrow. The meeting starts at 5 p.m. tomorrow is also not incorrect. Please understand. For any action that is expected to happen at some time in the future, if this is now, and it's a scheduled event, okay, and for that we can use the simple future. So we'll start. We can use the present continuous, so is starting, and we can also use the simple present. Okay, this is a less known use, but you can use it. So the meeting starts at 5 p.m. The meeting is starting at 5 p.m. and the meeting will start at 5 p.m. tomorrow. All three are correct. Okay, so I'm writing all three. Okay, the next one. Okay, I dashed dinner when you called. Okay, so this was going on when this happened. So I was cooking dinner when you called. The interruptive action will be in the simple past and the ongoing in the past continuous. He is knowing, he knew, he was know, he is new. Of course, he knew the answer. Always remember facts, you will always use the simple tenses, whether it is present, past, or future. Okay. I will finish the report before the deadline. I will have finished the report before the deadline. Of course, finishing is incorrect. So let's do away with that. Right? I have finished. Of course, that is also incorrect. So no. So therefore, the best answer, I will have finished before the deadline. So if this is the deadline, it's somewhere here, it will be already done. So therefore, I'm using the future perfect. All right. So she had been working for 2 hours when the manager arrived. Remember again, something happening and then the next one. So therefore, she had been working. All right. Let's do the last set of questions, which is conditionals. Now remember, if it is universal truth, you must use the zero conditional, which is simple present, simple present. Okay. So if you heat ice, it melts, and that's the correct answer. This is zero conditional. If you will study, you will pass. No. If you study, you will pass. If you studied, you will pass. Now remember, for real conditions and highly likely ones, you use the first conditional. So therefore, if you study, you will pass will be the correct answer. Okay. The next one. If I were you, I would accept the offer. Remember, this is the second conditional. In the second conditional, here you use the simple past. Okay. And in the then conditional, you use the would or could with the verb, base verb. Okay, so therefore this. All right, if they had left earlier, they would have caught the. So if this, you see the past perfect here, you know this is the third conditional. This is the unreal one. It is hypothetical because the conditions already happened. So if they had left earlier, they would have caught the flight, but they did not leave and therefore they did not catch the flight. So therefore 4. If it rains, we will cancel the trip, right? So this is the first conditional. Real condition and highly likely. Okay, if he's dash harder, he would easily clear. He would clear means this is the second conditional, because here I am seeing the would plus the base verb. So therefore here I have to take the simple past. So if he worked harder, he would easily clear the exam. All right, if she had money, she would travel more. Again, this is the past, simple past. Therefore, here would plus base verb. So, again, this is the second conditional. If you're able to spot which conditional, then it becomes easy. If we knew the truth, now this is the simple past. I know, therefore, this has to be my second conditional. Right? So, here I need would. So, would act differently. Okay, if you practice daily, okay, so this is the simple present, you will win the match, or you win the match, but that's not necessary, no? So therefore you will win the match, because this may not be a universal truth. So please understand, you will win the match. Again, this is the first conditional. Right? If she had listened to me earlier, she... Okay, now this is a very complicated one. This is a mixed conditional. So if past action taken or not taken, effect in the present. So if she had listened to me earlier, she would be happier now. Okay. So this one is the mixed conditional. Okay. All right, guys. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Otherwise, we'll stop the session now and I will see you next week. So maximize not next week, Friday. So maximize every minute of your exam prep by accessing the Muscled Up CL app on the move. You can download the Career Launcher app from Android by using the first QR code right on top, and from iOS from the second or the bottom QR code. Okay, you can scan them, or you can go to Google Play Store or App Store on your iPhones and download it from there. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful. Remember, our sessions are Monday and Friday at 1 p.m. We are doing snap prep. Okay. And for CAT, it is 8:30 p.m. on Friday. Do remember to join me for each of these sessions. And also remember to hit like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. Oh, Vicky, word order is arranging sentences. So it's a sort of a parajumble, but it's a sentence arrangement. So start from what is the subject of the sentence, what is the verb, and then start placing things around them. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.